Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
The city of Sioux Falls is providing a nonprofit with a $1.8 million grant to renovate an apartment complex into low-income housing. The property is located in the All Saints neighborhood near downtown.
It'll be converted into 12 units for single moms. The apartments are located near a bus stop and a grocery store.
You're a block and a half, 2 blocks from a park, which is fantastic for, some of these smaller apartment buildings. There's just a lot of benefits to the location.
The nonprofit Interlakes Community Action Partnership expects to begin the renovations by July 1st. Crews with the city of Sioux Falls were on standby for most of the day Sunday. Street operations manager Dustin Hansen says crews were out early Sunday morning.
After the snow turned to rain, crews went back out to treat the roads. Hansen says they'll continue to monitor the situation and plan to be back out on the roads today.
At some point, we're going to see a little bit of snow here. I think there's, potentially 2 to 4 inches tomorrow into Tuesday. So just be safe out there. Like I said, right now our temperatures are above freezing. Our streets are wet. But once those temperatures drop and we do start getting some snow tomorrow, just be careful on those streets. Our plows will be out treating the roads and potentially plowing if there's enough snow to plow.
Hank Trumbull with the Minnehaha County Highway Department says his crews were also out Sunday and will be back out this morning for another round of treatment. Authorities in Jackson County, South Dakota say icy roads led to a crash over the weekend. The Sheriff's Department says it happened on I-90 just before 3 o'clock Sunday morning. The Interior Volunteer Fire Department and Wall Ambulance were called to the scene.
Authorities say a truck slid into the median and rolled. The driver was taken to the Phillip Hospital with serious, non-life-threatening injuries.
Now let's get a check of our current conditions with meteorologist Scott Monte. Wet start to the day out there, Scott.
Yeah, in the form of rain, freezing rain, and snow. Snow has been heavy at times during the overnight hours, even into early this morning, just to the north and west of Sioux Falls. Now, we do continue with these blizzard warnings in south central South Dakota, stretching up to the Huron area. And then outlying those areas, we do have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. We continue to watch that switch over to snow in southeastern KELOLAND for this morning, including the Sioux Falls area. We've had a period of freezing rain, so some slick conditions across the southeast, as temperatures today will reach the 20s and 30s for highs. More details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. The South Dakota Highway Patrol says drivers should expect no travel advisories in the coming days. There has been some uncertainty with this storm and conditions can change quickly. Drivers are asked to be prepared for difficult travel conditions across certain sections of South Dakota.
The winter weather is also impacting classes for some schools in KELOLAND. Coleman, Egan, Esteline, and Mitchell are among those schools closed today. You can find a list of closures right here on KELOLAND.com.
Bellefouche police are hoping a golden eagle will make a full recovery after it was picked up by a semi-driver over the weekend. Officials say the eagle was hit on the highway.
It surprised the driver when it came to life at a truck stop. The driver and officers were able to get the eagle out of the semi safely. Police say a volunteer at the Raptor Center was able to pick up the eagle on Saturday night.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, a busy forecast as we look at some headlines here for today and tonight. We have a winter weather advisory for north central South Dakota extending to Pierre all the way to Rapid City. Then the intensity of the snow and the wind leads to a blizzard warning for the area shaded in white. That includes Winter, Gregory, up to Chamberlain and Huron. And then farther east, we have winter storm warnings in effect for Watertown, Millbank, Marshall, Pipestone. Now, Sioux Falls, at least in the Sioux Falls metropolitan area, it's a winter weather advisory as we're dealing with a mixed bag of rain and snow. Primarily snow as we transition into the afternoon and tonight. Also remember, northwest Iowa, marginal risk of severe weather. Yep, just putting that out there too. That marginal risk goes back into Sioux and Plymouth counties of northwestern Iowa. Okay, well, what else can we add here? Well, there's your additional snow forecast. Based on the latest data this morning, I still think a 4 to 8 inch swath is going to run a route there from O'Neill, Nebraska, up through Mitchell, probably to Salem, through Brookings to Marshall. We've been getting snow. We've got more on the way. The information would suggest that that area will continue to pick up that heavy snow band. And also the winds have been increasing behind this storm system. And I do think that tonight, the worst wind is actually coming for Sioux Falls in the southeast. We'll have 40 to 45 mile an hour winds. So we need to pay attention to those rain snow lines pretty carefully today on radar. That diagonal runs there, kind of splices through Minnehaha County. I think that's fair estimate here on where we're looking at the data this morning. 12 o'clock weather map does pivot some of the snow back to Huron again. So kind of watch that back edge there as we continue to watch the main low coming up out of Nebraska. You can see those freckles of yellow and orange across northwest Iowa. That's where some rumbles of thunder will be incorporated. And then, of course, your heavy wet snow band right there in the blue. And that gets right up to Sioux Falls through the evening. Don't forget tonight, as the north winds accelerate, the temperature is going to drop. So that moisture, that rain and those puddles, they're going to undergo a flash freeze. We're going to freeze up tonight, I think pretty likely by daybreak tomorrow morning. Sioux Falls will drop into the teens. So it's going to get icy, slick. That slush is going to freeze up on those roads. That's a little challenging environment. Obviously, you're going to have to slow down and be aware of the weather conditions tomorrow morning as the system wraps up. By the way, Rapid City could drop to as low as maybe 2 or 3 degrees above zero tomorrow morning. That's cold. Here are the highs today. 20s west and north. Sioux Falls, we've already hit our high. We'll be in the low 30s. Beyond this storm system, once it kind of wraps up tomorrow morning, then we're in the clear for a little while. Looks like we'll bounce back to the mid-40s on Thursday. Some of you with deeper snow, though, you'll be a little bit slower to come back. Check out the details, the rest of your weather, online at KELOLAND.com.